All right, here is the speed run of the Excel Esports case Tower Defense version Vanquisher. Start by looking up the gold for killing enemies. So on the enemy name, we're returning the gold, and then multiply that by number of enemies. Next one is a time to kill, right? So I need the hit points, I need the damage, and time to kill. So the hit points is based on the enemy, right? So this is the target's hit points, and then the damage is the person here, the analyst, their damage that they do. And then time to kill, which we remember from other cases, is HP divided by damage ceiling rounded. Next up is the goal cost of these, right? So I'll just bring them down like this, although I missed one. Right, so text after the X space, right? So that's the name, and then only numbers is the number. And then I need to know their gold, right? So I look up all of them on here, locked, returning their gold or their damage. I don't know. Now I'm lost. The gold cost of these managers, right? So X look up this because they get paid in gold, obviously. Everybody knows if you work in finance, you get paid in gold, right? Cost, there it is. All right, so that's the number of gold that they cost. And then some product of this and this. Okay, so next one, we're going to find the number of path cells within each tower range, right? And I'm going to use OA robot to make a lambda. First, I'm going to use my color fill to have this, and then X2 call of this. So these are the path cells. Make a named range for that, path cells. So now, since I'm using OA robot, I'm going to make these my inputs. Right, and then the range is the most important thing, right? So what's the range of the corporate tower? So I look that up here, returning here. And then the, the pass cells is the pass cells. And then the distance is map of this lambda x. This is the distance, right? Is my chessboard distance formula of the fixed cell and x, right? Which is every possible cell. One more parentheses and no asterisks, please. Like that. And so in path within range is filter this based on this is less than or equal to this, right? And then what? If error, rows of that, and then if it's an error, 0. Okay, so that's the number of path cells within range. That's the answer to this. This is also SLA, save lambda as, using OA robot in path. Okay. So for these, right, in path is the first part of it. For this corporate tower and that cell, how many are within range? And then what's the damage that each one does is based on what type of corporate tower it is, right? So I look up the damage of each corporate tower. And then the HP is based on the target, right? The enemy here. Then this question's asking for HP remaining, right? Which is the starting HP minus the damage times the number of towers. All right, now we're going to play the game here. So to call of each of these towers, right? And then I'm going to text split each of these by the semicolon, right? So I need to know the in path again, right? Which is just in path based on this corporate tower, based on that cell. Then I also need to know the damage of each, right? So look up this on here, returning here. Total damage is the sum product of this and this. So this is how much damage each enemy will take as it walks through the entire path, right? And then here is what happens to each enemy, right? What happens to us as each enemy walks by, right? So this is the enemy number, and this is the enemy name spelled wrong. And what I need to know is the enemy statistics, right? So XLOOKUP the enemy name on here, but I'm going to need all of these, right? And keep all this locked. Right, so this is gold, HP, and damage. So I need to know, do we kill this thing? And then what is my HP, right? Starting at 1,000. So I kill it if the damage that all the towers do to it, which is fixed, is greater than or equal to the number of hit points it has, then yes, kill, otherwise no kill. Then the HP loss is so if I killed it, then I don't lose any HP. Otherwise, I lose the HP of the damage of the thing, right? And bring this all the way down in the correct columns, please. So when do I die and how many kills do I get before I die, right? So X match 0 on my hit points, right? Tells me what round I die using -1, right? Exact match or next lower. Then the kills is take my total possible kills and I take, these 87 rows in one column and then sum that up and that'll give me the number of towers that I kill. So equals 87 rounds survived and a semicolon and 49 enemy towers killed. Fill that up. Bonuses are all based on 6 and earlier, so let's do bonuses now before 7. The health points of enemies is the sum of the XLOOKUP of the enemy names on the enemy names returning the health points close. The length of the road is rows of pass cells. The best placement is going to be based on something. I'm going to make a new sheet for this because I don't want to make a new copy of my named range. So I'm going to do it like this. And now I'm going to make addresses here, right? So address of the row and the column, style number 4. Take this and just paste formulas. It's not allowed there. So the set difference of all the possible locations minus the pass cells, right? This will remove those from the set. That gives me the spots that I'm allowed to place stuff. And now I need to know the in path for those spots of the best tower, right? Which is the partner tower. So the in path for the partner tower, because it has the longest range, range 5, that cell. So that's how many pass cells are within the partner range of these possible spots. Take the max of this, give it a second to calculate, and the answer is 31. How many times do we kill this enemy here in level 6? Well, there's a few criteria here. Is equals if and. So first of all, the name has to be equal to this fixed name, and it has to be a kill, and we still have to be alive, right? So the round number has to be less than the round number here. The enemy number has to be less than the round that we died, which is in x44 locked, $44. If all that's true, then yes, I killed the whatever that thing is. Otherwise, I didn't do this for all of them and sum it all on up. All right, at my what if table, and it looks like it is 87 according to my bar at the bottom. All right, and now how much gold did I get? Well, this is similar, except I don't care about the name anymore. I just care that it's killed and that I didn't die, but what I get is the gold instead of just yes or no kill. All right, sum these up. Not counting the example, 887 is in my bar. All right, now we're going to do level 7. So I need to find, I can't use my what if table for this because it's cumulative, right? Like each answer, you can't use the next one. So instead what I'm going to do is I'm going to XLOOKUP yes on here, returning here, locked, but I'm going to do it backwards, right? So this is going to get me the best tower, is the longest range tower. And then this is the spot to put it in, right? And the answer it gives me is L13 for the first one. Now for this one, let the unused spots equals the starting spots, right? Which is, oh no, I gotta sort them first. So these are the spots, but I gotta sort these in priority order. All right, so first I'm going to just bring them over here. Then ref to RC of this, ref to row column number as a row. Bring all this down. Could make a sort formula. It's maybe a little easier to just paste values and do ref row column. Do it manually, since I only have to do it once. All right, and it says I have to sort by row first and then column. So this is backwards, right? Column first and then row. Now I've got the correctly sorted spots. Give that a named range. Now over here, so let the unused spots equals like that, right? Filter all the spots based on exists, which is my exists lambda on this array, meaning if it's used before, I can't use it again. So if that exists, if the spot exists on there, then if that is 0, then it's okay to keep it in because it's unused. All right. So the unused ones now I got to find the in path for, right? So in paths is the map on unused lambda x of in path of the tower name, which is not always partner. The tower name is right here. And then the cell is x, because I'm going to test every one of them. All right, that's the end of the lambda. That's the end of the map. So that tells me the number of paths that each one can hit. And then what I just want is the biggest of in pass returning on unused. All right, I'm not accepting a correction because that's going to blow up everything. Instead, I'm going to close my parentheses correctly. All right, it's going to take a second to calculate, but God willing, I'll get it right on the first try. Let's see. So this and this and this is here. Calculate. 29%, 31%, 53%. Let's see, where can I go so you can see it? Probably nowhere, huh? There we go. We got it halfway done. Keep going, though. I interrupted it. 94%, 95%. Let's go, Excel. These last 5% take the longest by far. This is a very fun case, by the way. Nice job, Jack Franken. That's it. Time's up. Check to make sure I've got 1250. Boom, 1250. All right, thanks for watching. Bye. All right, here is live attempt of Road to Las Vegas Battle 5.
Excel World Championship 2026, with the finals taking place in HyperX Arena Las Vegas in December. We are glad to present you the case for the battle.
Tower Defense.
The Version Vanquisher.
The Version Vanquisher. Oh, that's got to go.
You are the last hope for the hard-working analysts of Excelopolis. They are eager to finalize this year's budget, but you know the truth. No budget is final on the first attempt, or the second, or the third. In a tower defense game, enemies, rogue forecasts, move along the path.
Okay, sounds like fun.
Towers, shown on the Towers and Enemies tab, are placed around the map and target the enemies.
Range with diagonals allowed.
For a tower to attack.
Okay,
Towers
fine.
attack damage, attack ranges, and purchase costs.
Okay.
Note that the range of a tower includes diagonal movement. A range of 2 would result in a tower covering an entire 5x5 square. The case has 140 questions of 7 levels of difficulty and 5 bonus questions. Plan your strategy wisely. Good luck, and see you in Las Vegas.
Did I just make a file for this? Yep, there it is. So there's my working directory. File name, I'll bet I can guess, right? Is
Welcome to the road to
Tower Defense, the Version Vanquisher. Vanquisher.xlsx, maybe. We'll see. Ashton RTLV 2026, month 5. All right, how much time do I got? All right, so this, down to 1 minute. This I like to put kind of here, like this. This I'll have kind of like this. Got to get my directories ready. One minute left. I mean, distances, rogue forecasts are the enemies, corporate towers are towers, defense is just the distance, chessboard distance formula I'm going to rely on a lot, right? Which is just the maximum of the row difference and the column difference. Paths, all right, so this I can either use breadth first search or a no diagonal Dijkstra for this. Kind of gone back and forth on those two algorithms for which one works the best. I'll probably use my breadth first search color one, my VBA breadth first search, if it's constant per level, which it usually is. All right, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Excel. All right, this is not exactly what I have, but it's close. All right, tower defense, the version Vanquisher. It's going to go in there, and it's going to go in the correct directory like this. All right, Excel cleanup. Others are high yields. That's how much gold would you receive from stopping the rogue forecast? Towers and enemies. Cost, damage to enemies, HP, gold when killed. All right, so let's look up the name on the names, returning the gold when killed. That's not the correct answer. Killing the same 4 times, so that times 4. All right, nothing funky here, right? Yeah, no. Okay. Towers go stronger, first year analyst, partner. How many times would the given corporate tower need to attack the rogue forecast to stop it? Okay, so the tower is X lookup this on here, returning on all of this, right? And I'm going to move over the headers for this. So this is tower data, and this is the enemy data. Is X lookup this on here. I hope this is useful in future levels since I'm making all this, but we'll see. All right, so that is there. So time to kill is the ceiling of the HP divided by the damage. Okay, check hints real fast. Looking good. How much would it cost to put together the following team? So to call, I don't know, how far can this go? That far? Yeah. And then let's see how long this goes. It is always that many. Text split this by space x space, right? And then the gold cost is what I care about, right? So this divided this looked up on here, returning the cost. And then some product, right? I mean, do I have to multiply this? Probably. Because those are going to be text otherwise. So now it is some product of this and this. Example good. Hints good. Continuing. How many times would the given corporate tower in the cell attack a single rogue forecast before the forecast reaches the castle? How many path pieces are within range? Senior manager has a range of 3 cells. Since the tower is in cell AG3, the 3 cells, so there are 7 road pieces within that range. All right, got it. So the game is here. I'm going to make a copy of it. I'm going to call this T. Usually use T for terrain. I'm going to unmerge if necessary, right? Yeah. And I'm going to fill in the colors using this thing. Right, and I'll call this the terrain. So equals x2 call terrain. So now what I want to look at is what's the range of this tower, first of all. Is x look up this on here, returning here. And then what's the distance? I mean, I guess I'm just going to look at road cells, right? So filter, this by this equals road, which is nothing. What's the name of the road? Path. This equals path. Okay, good, but I need both of these, right? So GH. So the distance then is the chessboard distance, right? Sure look like the chessboard distance counting diagonal of that and that frozen. So how many times would it attack is count for, let's say the rows of the filter of this based on this is less than or equal to this frozen. And if error, I'm going to put a 0, right? All right, so that's level 4. Hint's still okay. All right, how many health points does a rogue forecast have when it reaches the final budget file? So I'm going to guess that the number of attacks matters, right? So the range is there, cell is there. So in attacks is based on level 4, right? Is 3 attacks. Total damage is this stuff, right? So I'm going to take some of this stuff from here, right? So the tower, this stuff's got to be locked better than that, right? Let's keep this stuff mega locked. And let's keep that stuff mega locked. And bring it over to level 5. Now I'm going to look up the tower name. And I'm going to look up the enemy name. And I've got 3 attacks equals 3 attacks times 8 damage is 24 damage. So it is the HP equals the HP minus the total damage is hopefully, God willing, the correct answer. Level 5, boom. Check hints. Level 6. Oh, it's a lot. Fire drill. Partner wants forecast by Friday. What is the number of the rogue forecast that kills the final budget file, and how many rogue forecasts die before then? So that's it. 200 rogue forecasts attack. We're walking down the path. When placed in cell, deal 8 damage to the rogue forecast. When placed in cell X13, right? So you start in X13, 13. I feel like I should at least look at the bonuses first before I do this entire freaking game. Enemies approaching. Sum of the HP of all enemies in level 2. So in level 2, their HP is, look up this on here, returning here. So that is level 2, that is HP. The sum of that is 80650. Copying it exactly, 80650. Copying it exactly from there. Reread. What is the sum of the HP of all the enemies in level 2? Exclude the example. The long road. How many road tiles are there on the game board? Well, there's no road tiles, but there's path tiles. I think there's path tiles. I think that's what we mean, right? Count if terrain is path. I hope a path and road are the same thing. If not, I'm in big trouble. Across all legal tower placement and tower types, what is the maximum number of road tiles covered by a single tower? So the best place to place a tower, I played so many of these games, I should know this, right? Is based on, can you place it directly on the path? I assume not. Corporate tires are saying on sand, tree, or water. Good. Okay. So if, I mean, I don't know, should I eyeball this or solve it? Three is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. That's my guess, is right here. That's not a good guess. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. That's a real good guess. This is that the biggest range is 3, right? No, the biggest range is 4. Oh, Jesus Christ. One, two, three, four, five. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4. I know I should have solved this. This is a terrible, terrible idea. How many times do you successfully kill? That's level 6, and this is also level 6. All right, gotta do level 6. All right, when placed in cell X13, 8 damage, 34 damage. Across all corporate towers is 8 times 4. This rogue forecast is killed. Okay, this doesn't seem too difficult. So that's these guys, right? This by this. the hell? No, text split. Okay, so now the range is look up this on here, locked, returning, here, locked. So the cells in range is start with X to call so X to call terrain filtered by X to call terrain choose calls 2 equals path. That's good. So this is path cells. I need, in range, right? So equals that. So the distances is, so the addresses is choose calls of A1. The distances now is, well, first of all, let me make sure this is good so far. Okay, so now what I need to know is map onto the addresses. So map onto the addresses the lambda with x being the distance formula of x and the tower locked. All right, so those are the distances. So the in towers is if error, the columns or the rows, right? The rows of filter addresses where distances is less than or equal to the range, right? And this 44 cannot be locked, right? Actually. And then the if error is going to be 0 in case there's nothing there. Two few arguments. Yeah, can't close the let there, right? That's the if error. That closes the let. Where's my error now? The let gets closed like that. And then in towers. Right? Is 4 the correct answer? Yes, yes it is. 8, 16, 19, 3, boom. All right, so damage equals X lookup this. X lookup this on here, returning here. Total damage is this times this. Final damage is the sum of this, which is supposed to be 1356. Ignore the total damage. So this. All right. So now we're gonna take damage from the enemies, right? So to call this stuff. So the enemy's health points is look up this on here, returning here. I can do the whole array like that. So enemies, that's the enemy's HP. I also want the enemy's damage is based on something else, right? So what, J maybe? Just guessing here. All right, so 8,000, so it does a 25. HP remain. Do we always start with 1,000? Yes, we always start with 1,000. Equals if this is greater than, not equal to, but greater than this locked, then this minus this, otherwise this. So falls to the 87th rogue forecast. So death is x lookup 0 on this, returning, or no, x equals x match 0 on this of the style -1. Right? Yeah, that's correct. 87. And how many do I kill? Kill is if this is greater than or equal to this, 0, because equal kills. So 044 stays locked. If that is it, then 1 kill, otherwise 0 kills. Right? So kills is take of this array, that many rows, and then sum them up. The last one, I'm trying to think if there's a one-off error. I don't think there is, right? Because if you're getting killed, obviously you're not killing. So I think we're good here. So this is ampersand, ampersand this. Now I have a question. Do I fix that bonus or do I go to 7? It's tough. It's a tough decision. I'm gonna look at 7 at least. I'll look at the hints also. All digits in the correct answer sum up to 16. String to array of this. Sum. Checking these hints because this is a lot of points. Yes, good. All right, level 6 is in. That is the correct format, right? I mean, that's what it looks like. This team has a full 20-week process. Oh, just 20 weeks. Some managers this week. Only 6 minutes left. Only certain corporate towers are available, and you don't decide how to use them most efficiently. Oh, geez. Is this dynamic programming? You start level 7 with just the first year analyst unlocked. You can only place a single tower in each game. Once a tower is placed, that cell cannot be used for any future placements. Holy crapola. Tower place and that cannot be used again. Which tower maximizes the damage per cost? In the case of a tie, all right, yeah, I'm fixing this bonus, and I'm doing the other bonus too. Okay, all legal placement tower and tower types with the maximum number of roads covered by a single tower. It's got to be the one that has 4, obviously. And then the legal tower placements are relatively easy to figure out, right? So X to call terrain. So the legal ones are filter this whole thing by this is not equal to path, right? Is that legal? Because it says water, tree, and sand. It's not final budget file either. But other than that, I'm good. Final budget file. Final budget file, filter this one. Okay, by now this equals that. So if I place it here, how many path tiles do I get, right? So I'm placing a neighbors list, this by the size of 4 with diagonal allowed, right? Because it is 4, right? Itself does not count because I'm not putting on a pass out. 4 is the correct answer for the correct number of thingies. So it is this, and then XLOOKUP this on the original, returning this. These have all got to exist on this, though, right? Oh no, because A1, because I've got to keep it on the board, right? So it's the neighbors, but on the board terrain, right? Yeah. So now XLOOKUP this on here, returning here, keeping the stuff locked. That is that. Now X count if on that equals a path. And then the maximum of this is 31, which is a very high number. I got 27. 31 sounds good. Now there's a level 6 bonus that hopefully I could do in 2 minutes. How many times do you successfully kill that? Okay. So kill this is if and this has got to be truthy, and this has got to be that, and something else too, then 1 otherwise 0. The something else is I have to still be alive. So round is sequence 100. How many freaking rounds are there? No, it's more than that. Round is sequence 200. So I need to also be alive, which means that the round number is less than my death number locked. If all of those are true, then I killed this one and I'm still alive to do it, right? So it's the sum of this during the times that I'm still alive. I hope. All right, 87. Trying to think if there's anything else, right? Because first of all, it has to be a kill. It has to be this name. And the round number has to be less than my death number. Yeah, that's fine. All right, let's throw in some guesses for this. This looks probably it's unguessable, right? U15, L7, L15. Let's say the rest of these are all L10. Why not? Wild freaking guess there. What about this last one? 10? That's a nice round number. How much gold was earned? Yeah, time's up. All right, so that was a fun case. Thank you, Jack Franken. Before I upload, I'm going to stop the video. So thank you for watching. Bye-bye.